No one is illegal on stolen land.
I want to talk about this. First off, greetings. Matin va. Dia huich. Salatamo. Hola, ¿cómo estás? I am going to speak to this to you from the traditional ancestral lands of the Pokagon band Potawatomi, the Wee, the Kickapoo, the Lenni Lenape, known as the Delaware people, and also the Mascoutin and the Shawnee, who were not part of the St. Mary's 1818 treaty. And in their greetings, and one of mine, I will say Bozo, Baju, He, and Ho. I don't believe that most of us remember or recall Jose Onfroy. I was incredibly disturbed to learn of a young man whose life was taken. Incredibly talented. Complicated guy? Absolutely. But I remember when Billie Eilish was speaking about the repercussions of the internet and how she was directed not to speak about and actually to take down some posts that she made about someone that she called her person. Somebody who was there for her to get her through incredibly difficult times. I am seeing a lot of people trash what she did, which was right. It was the best thing that she could have done. Not all of us have all of the answers. But when she spoke out about her friend, Jose Onfroy, or his name is also XXX Tentacion, she was told to take her post down. And, she said they were guiding her, trying to elevate her, which may have helped her. But I also have watched Billie Eilish grow into a famous person. I pay attention to those things because I love music. And it seems as though the moment that you put your face on the screen, you are absolutely constantly criticized. Billie might not have known what land that she's on. But that's not necessarily just her fault. Because if you look around all over throughout history, there have only been ever small snippets of information about the land that you're standing on. Who was ethnically cleansed from the land so that you could live here today? A person named Mark Charles actually asked me to seek that information. And what I found, after all these years, are a lot of things I can't even talk about on here. I think that what Billie did, and what the majority of everyone is not recognizing or acknowledging, speaking of acknowledgments, is that people in her positions are trying to do something. I don't know how she learned it. I don't know how she knows to say that phrase. But we should all see this as a win. It invites conversation. It invites meaningful dialogue. But those people who are talking about land back, I've had it explained to me several times by many people. Many of the original people, by the way. It is a movement. It's no different than John Trudell saying that we are all beings and that we should stand up against tyranny. Not all of us can be experts at everything. But when some people ask, who may identify as white or erased, what can I do? She did something. Now, some are going to criticize her and say she did the wrong things, but I think she did something right. She was silenced about talking about her friend Jose, which what happened to him was wrong. Incredibly talented person. I watched that happen live. Miss Billie Eilish. I didn't know him Much like you said, you didn't really know him, but he was there for a lot of people. I listened and watched Jose grow into what he was too. I watched the bad, and I watched him change into someone more aware. Sometimes I kind of think that it was because he wasn't seen the way he wanted to be seen. And most of us need to be seen. But Billie, you're right when you said years ago on this interview that I'm talking about, where you were talking about one of the first times you talked about Jose, or Ja, that he was your person, and that the internet was trash. It's all fake. They want us to cosplay into the things that are only acceptable to what they see. And I think that you're doing a great job of trying to get out your voice while still doing the things that you contractually have to do. And for those who want to cause harm to Billie, I want you to acknowledge something, if you can. She said something meaningful. It's taken that many years. It's taking years to get people to get up on these larger platforms and to do what they can. So for anybody who's actually, coming down hard on her, Billie, you're a woman. You love beyond boundaries. I enjoy your music. I always have, since I also understand that you've got Tourette's. Most people don't understand all these things. And I don't know everything about you. I've never met you. But I relate to you and to what is happening with you in this very moment when you got up there and you balls out said what you needed to say. Maybe you didn't know everything, but you tried to do something. And so while I do not speak for anyone else but myself and all the ancestors and agencies inside of myself, I will say there is a moment for education to bring itself about. Deeper, meaningful conversations. And heck, I'm just doing this because I see the issues. I understand that the design is a code. It's a copy and paste, repetitive situation. And those who are already with the momentum of making all the money, they've already got the marketing all the way they want it. Just keep doing the same thing over and over again. While each individual person is also incredibly beautifully unique. You are a global indigenous child of Mother Earth. These are beginnings of conversations that we could have. But the powers that be stifle them in ways of public humiliation. That's no different than the colonizers. I am of many tribes, of many lands, but I come from my mother and my father. I think that Billie and your words come from trying to do something. When people are asking, what should I do? What can I do? Well, land titles have exchanged hands many times. Throughout history, the lands have been confiscated and reissued and resold. For my Sakani people, my family on my daddy's side go all the way back to the Sakani tribe, what is now known as Sicily or what is now known as Italy. And would you know it? The doctrine of discovery, well, there's older documents than that. They gave away Sicily 11 times. So, take it for what it's worth. That is through our trial and our trying to heal in a sick design.